It's never been easier than ever before to become a Renaissance man. And the reason why is that we are all carrying smartphones in our pockets. In other words, it's never been easier to acquire information. Let's just say, for example purposes, right? You wanted to learn the skill of wood making. Let's just use that for an example. You could literally learn this skill in the comfort of your own home. You could watch courses online, you could watch YouTube videos, etc. You don't even need to go to a class in the real world. So before I start talking about the hobbies that you need to be doing, let's first define what a Renaissance man actually is. That way, we're on the same page. So, a Renaissance man, or a well rounded man as I like to call it, is basically a guy that is cultured. So, in other words, this is a guy that has travelled a lot. It is also a guy that is well educated, as in self taught, and also a guy that is competent in a number of fields. And if we're looking at an example from the past, Leonardo da Vinci is the perfect example. Leonardo da Vinci was a painter, a scientist, a mathematician, a philosopher. He was competent in a number of fields. And if we're looking at a modern day example, Elon Musk is the perfect example. Elon has been successful within the technology industry. He's got electric cars that sell well all around the world, and the guy is sending rockets into space. The perfect example of a modern day Renaissance man. And this isn't me saying that you need to become like Elon or Leonardo da Vinci, because that more than likely isn't going to happen. Those two are absolute freaks, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. But what I am saying is that you can take a leaf out of their books and become competent in a number of fields. So let's talk about the 5 hobbies that you need to be doing to become a modern day Renaissance man. You can have all the money in the world. You could be a multi-billionaire. You could even be a trillionaire. But if you haven't got your health, are you even wealthy? I'd say the answer is a resounding no. Health and fitness is truly the foundation to living a good life, because without it, you can't do anything. And this is why a physical hobby is so important. So this could be strength training, this could be running, this could be hiking, this could be mixed martial arts, this could be yoga. You get the idea. It has to be something that you individually enjoy doing. Me personally, I would always recommend everybody, man, woman, and child, to do some form of strength training. And the reason why is because, from a health ROI, strength training gives you the biggest bang for your buck, especially when it is done properly and in moderation. But like I previously said, it has to be something that you specifically enjoy. The thing is, with your body, you only get one body, so you have to look after it. What you'll tend to notice with a lot of people that are financially successful is that they tend to be readers. They tend to read books. And some people might say that books are like software updates for the human brain. Just like a computer, you've got to keep updating your knowledge because the world is constantly changing. Let's just use the smartphone as an example. 40 years ago, if you would have turned around to the average person and said that practically everybody on this planet is going to be walking around with a personal computer in the pocket, you would have thought that person was off their head. But this is the reality of modern day living. It was Zig Ziglar, the personal development speaker, that said something along the lines of rich people have big libraries and small TVs, whereas poor people have big TVs and small libraries. Basically, what he's saying is that the consumption habits of a poor person and a rich person tend to be different. And I'm going to add to that quote because you don't even need a big library. You can get a library card for absolutely nothing in most Western countries, and you can rent the books for free. When it comes to books, where I'd recommend starting is autobiographies. And these are actually some of the most powerful books you can read. Because if you're reading the autobiography of a high level person, you're seeing how that person thinks, how that person acts, and how that person deals with problems. It's kind of like having a conversation with that person. To put it another way, reading expands your mental toolkit. What I've personally found in my own life is that I'm the happiest when I'm either building or creating something. And if I feel this way, there's probably a high likelihood that loads of other people feel the exact same way as well. I would honestly go as far to say that human beings are born to build and create. And if you want proof of this, just go round your local town centre and have a look around. And what you'll see are buildings that are man made. The fact that you are here on this planet should tell you something because mum and dad got together and created you. But let's just keep it PG here because I don't want to start putting images in your mind and discuss you. But you get the point as to what I'm saying. So, when it comes to artistic hobbies, what are we talking about here? Examples might include creative writing, recording YouTube videos like the one that you are seeing on your screen right now, could be painting, drawing, playing an instrument. You get the idea. And like I've mentioned earlier on in the video, this has to be something that you enjoy doing because when you enjoy it, you'll continue coming back to it. A well rounded life requires relationships, it requires giving back. In other words, isolation kills the Renaissance spirit because at the end of the day, human beings are social creatures. We thrive when we're around people. To put it another way, in the wild, the lone wolf dies. He needs his pack to survive. So, when it comes to social hobbies, what are we looking at here? This could be volunteering at a homeless shelter. This could be volunteering at a food bank. It could be volunteering at your local library. It could be coaching a youth soccer team. It might also mean mentoring somebody and passing down your knowledge. It could also mean attending a Toastmasters and working on your public speaking skills. In numerous videos on this channel where I talk about romantic relationships, I've talked about the importance of open and honest communication. And in one of the videos, I think I said something along the lines of that alongside good sex, open and honest communication is really the glue that holds couples together. Communication is so important. A social hobby doesn't just benefit you, but more often than not, it's also a positive for society as well. I mentioned this earlier in the video, but it's definitely worth repeating, and that is I'm the happiest when building and creating. And in the artistic hobby section of this video, I talked about creating. In this section, I'm going to be talking about building things, especially with your hands. So this could be woodworking. This could be blacksmithing. This could be repairing stuff around the home. It's basically anything that has you working with your hands. And what you'll tend to find is that when you build something with your bare hands, it is extremely satisfying.